You could even have the most amazing product in the world, but if that person doesn't know, like you, and trust you, doesn't matter what it is, they're gonna say no.
Stop being spammy. It's time to learn how to recruit like a pro. In this episode, we're gonna be diving into the fundamental aspects of how to ditch the spammy, salesy weirdo of recruiting and actually start to attract people into your business. Don't forget to subscribe and stay updated on all things network marketing. What does it mean to spam and chase people versus attract?
There's a very cool concept that usually we share with our students that I will share with you guys. So there's a difference between prospecting and marketing. So prospecting, it's pretty much how old school network marketing works. It's basically you go make a list of everyone and anyone and go ask everyone on that list if they would be interested in your opportunity. So it's basically kind of like go into a neighborhood and start knocking on everyone's door and asking if they want to buy your cheesecake. So what's going to happen, there will be people who will say, I don't eat any sugar. There will be people who say, I'm vegan. There are people who will say,
No gluten for
I
me.
just ate a dessert or da-da-da. So pretty much.
Meanwhile, my mouth is salivating. Cheesecake.
It was a bad example, right? Cheesecake is a bad example. So maybe it's like knives.
I'm your perfect prospect.
So what I'm trying to say that you will have to hear 99 no's, and that's statistics, if you do prospecting traditional way before you will hear one yes. Now, I'm not trying to say that it's, don't do this. There's people who came before us who did just that and they were successful, right? But the network marketer who just start this journey, they're not going to want to go through 99 no's. Like they don't have thick skin. They don't have the skill set. They don't even know how to deal with the rejection. So the problem is when simple network marketer who just gets started and being told go for no, they're going to quit after no number 3.
Exactly. And to that point, I want you to imagine that some random stranger is the one that's coming to your door offering you cheesecake. You're going to be like, first off, I don't know you. There's probably poison in here or edible
Did you see my sign?
chloroform.
No soliciting.
Right? Like you could even have the most amazing product in the world, but if that person doesn't know, like you, and trust you, doesn't matter what it is, they're going to say no, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, what happens is spamming all your stuff all over. It just rubs people the wrong way because here's the thing. They didn't actually go out looking for that information. So it's like those solicitors. They're showing up, knocking on your door. You haven't asked for this information, but here they are telling you all about their cheesecake and all about their stuff.
Amazing it is.
And,
gluten-free.
you haven't even, no sugar. You haven't even asked for any of this information, right? So like when you see this all in your newsfeed.
3 patents.
Patents on the what? On the cheese?
The crust. The milk. Buttery, flaky crust.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like
Guilt-free.
it's like I didn't even go asking for this, and you're putting it all up in my feed and you're shoving it in my face, and so it just really rubs people the wrong way.
Yes, and I think we need to actually give specifics of what spamming is. So, in 2020, when the world shut down, it seems like all these network marketers that were growing their businesses, they just took
Their spamminess.
their spamminess that they were doing offline and they moved it online.
Yes,
And I don't think a lot of them are even aware that they're a spammer.
Yeah, I don't even. They knew that
They don't
there
know
was
what they
something
don't know.
wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
They didn't know that what they didn't know. But a spammy message in, for instance, this slides into your DM, which I probably get 25 million a day, right?
Yeah.
Is, hey, you have an incredible following. You'd be great at what I'm doing. It's ground floor opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, here's the video, right? It's kind of like Carrie, here's my throw up.
Yeah. You want it?
Do you want it? Right?
I saw it your
Does it
birthday
taste like
today,
cheesecake?
and I have an incredible offer for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is just
That's gross.
It's Yeah, it is. It makes you want to. It makes you.
And if you're doing those things or have done them, because, I was taught by my upline to do some of those things.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better, right? So until you know better, like, don't, go jumping off a cliff or anything because you've been doing this. Like,
Yeah.
there is a way out. There is recovery, right?
And by the way, we all did these things before. Okay, so we're not putting anyone down here.
Yeah.
We're laughing at ourselves.
We're laughing
okay?
at ourselves.
And when I say like it's gross, it's because like I had a birthday recently, and you're like, oh my gosh, someone's sending me a birthday message, and you feel all special until they turn around and they really just make it about
Oh,
themselves.
here's your $10 gift.
Right?
Like,
Like,
you
you
go
do
buy
not
something.
use people's birthdays as a way to like
No.
prospect. Okay. And then another way of spamming, and it's not necessarily I'm putting my stuff in front of people's face, but if you're tagging like 90 people
Oh
or
my
like
God.
Or the everyone tag.
or everything on your stuff about your
Is that
stuff,
their
okay,
permission?
Yeah.
without their permission, or you're just mass adding people into your group about your product, that is spamming. That's
Right.
spamming.
Or another example is doing a post with your magic elixir. Like, I don't know how many posts that we see where they're like drinking their shake, right? And we see name a company, what the shake is, and
$50, like 50% off.
50%
Yeah.
off
Like, buy now.
if you buy
here's
now.
My referral code.
yeah.
They will shrink
There's the weight loss supplement with a before and after photo, but you actually see the same before and after photo on somebody else, another company's product.
Product,
I've seen the same before and after photos in multiple companies, and I'm thinking, yeah, I have. And it's like,
Yeah.
really?
Now,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
the thing. There is a time and a place for before and after photos. that
And
are
there
not-
is a time and a place for a sell.
Your own or
Yes.
people
Yeah.
on your team that you know
Yeah.
of that it really happened for those people on
Or,
their team.
But-
in your own Facebook group where people have held their hand up, they want more information.
Yes.
Now here, look what it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. For people who are actually interested in the product.
And Kat gives the perfect analogy of this. Like if you pretend that your, profile to your social media is a store. You've given this before on an episode that we did, back.
Storefront, yeah.
It's a storefront, right? And so when people are coming by to see if they want to be your friend, if it's buy this and buy
like,
this
oh,
and
no,
discount
I'm
here,
going to a different
they're like,
store.
oh, I'm going to go. Because like imagine that you walk into a mall. You walk into the mall, you want to buy a shirt. But what happens when the salesman comes up to you and says,
You go away.
can I help you? No, right? I'm just looking. Even if you went in there to buy a shirt, but because it's salesy and it's that no one wants to be sold. However, people love to buy when they're educated on
When it's there.
when it's their idea,
Their
to
idea.
buy.
and
Yes.
they see
And they
what's
can see
in
the
it for
benefits.
them.
They
Yes.
can see the benefits. They can
Yes.
see how it's going to help and serve them.
So this is prospecting for you, right? It's going after everyone without prejudging. And we were taught this in traditional
No
network
relationship
marketing.
building. It's just
Yeah, just
dropping
don't
these
prejudge,
bombs.
make
Yeah.
a list and go connect with everyone. And what happened, like Carrie said, everyone who used to do it face to face came online and now doing it on social media, calling it influence marketing.
Yeah.
I have the funniest story about this. You guys want to hear
Yeah,
this?
yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. So I was taught, right? Like, when I first started network marketing, I didn't really use social media, right? But then my upline was like, okay, how might we incorporate this social media deal? And that's exactly what we did, was took our offline spammy skills and we moved them online, right? So I had a pretty nice sized Facebook friend list because, you have friends back from when you went to high school, right? Which was, somewhere around 20 years or so, right? Anyway, so I, one of the things at one of the events was just go through your Facebook friends and send the I need your number, right? Like, so I need your number. So
What?
That's what you're supposed to send a messenger, right? So I did it.
To everyone.
Well, pretty much. So I sent this message to one of my really great, I went to prom with his best friend, right? So he was one of my really good friends. He was a year older than me in school.
Is this Gary?
Yeah. And so I sent this message, right? Like, I need your number to Gary in Messenger, right? And he sends back, I'm married, right? Like, okay, that went downhill real fast, right? Like, I was like, anyway, he ended up on my team because I'm really good at what I do. But, it was just embarrassing from seeing like some of the stuff that I've done, to build my business.
So why do y'all think that like more people aren't talking about this in the network marketing industry?
Because they don't know there's another way.
I think they just keep rinse and repeating what they've done, and it's being taught from stage to just do the things, right? Now I've seen some of the shifts in some companies. Yeah. Some companies are embracing more of the social media and the influence marketing idea of, building their business. But it's kind of like they're stuck in their ways, if that makes any sense.
Another reason why I don't think it's being talked about more is because when someone starts branding themselves, people become tied to that person and not the company and not the upline. And so I'm calling it as it is. It's scarcity mindset.
Oh, for sure.
Scarcity mindset in companies, scarcity mindset in leaders in said companies. They're terrified that if so-and-so starts to actually brand these people to them and not to this overarching company, they're nervous that, okay, if so-and-so decides to leave,
they take all those people with
which
that happens anyway.
It happens anyways. It does happen anyways, but I found that the companies that are embracing it more, that's where these people are going. Right? Yeah. So it's like a shift
because they
mindset
want to be able to build their business in a way that makes them proud of building a business. Like we don't want to be those salesy, spammy people. That's not who I wanted to be when I was messaging Gary. No. Like I felt like I need something from him, right? I didn't need something from him. Whether he enrolled or not, I was going to build a business. But it's like this bass-ackwards thing of, like build, and it just feels gross.
Yeah,
like
totally.
You say bass?
Yeah,
she did. I was like, damn, was I the only one that heard that?
I know.
Ass backwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said it on purpose.
Oh, you did? Oh. Well, good. Totally just threw me off there.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, you're right.
So now let's talk about marketing.
Yeah,
right?
the difference.
I'm not bashing prospecting, and if it's done right, it worked for many people.
And
in
if
the
it's
past.
working for you,
And for people
many
that
people
have
right now.
influence,
Yes.
it works.
Well, it works if you put the person that you're talking to first,
Yes.
right? Now, if somebody sends me a message, for instance, like we can, use this same example of me sending Gary, hey, I need your number. And he messaged back and I'm like, I have this opportunity I want to put in front of you. Again, super spammy, right? I didn't ask Gary what he's been up to for the last damn 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it was just, what do I need, right?
Right.
And I mean, he was just in a place that it made sense for him because he was looking for a to supplement it.
And he's a super nice
And
guy.
he's super
It's like,
nice,
I'll humor you,
Yeah.
right? So,
like it was okay, but I didn't even like ask him how he was, if he's married, like how many kids he has. Like
20 years
20 years later, it's still all about me. Does that make sense? Like it just
I actually did exact same thing with one of my high school friends. I sent her friend request and then straightforward like, hey, you will be really good at this thing, come to the Zoom call tonight. She blocked me.
Yeah.
Without saying anything.
Yeah, I have another funny story. You guys are going to die laughing, and hopefully he does not see this. Ever. So my ex-boyfriend from high school, right? I set up I sent him a message, hey, I need your number. Okay, because, that's what I was doing. He's like, okay, great.
Okay, disclaimer. Everyone who got this message from Brandon, I need your number.
Anyway, so, I talked to him for a little bit and I said, hey, my, I'm doing this business. I'd like to put it in front of you. My upline and I are going to be, in the city. Will you sit down and meet with us? Right. And he's like, sure. Right. So anyway, guess what happened? My upline totally ditched me that day because something came up for him and he didn't do it on purpose. He wasn't trained to be malicious or anything. Right. But something happened. So here I am meeting my ex-boyfriend. I am now married, right? Like to someone else.
and you're meeting your old
Yeah, and I'm meeting my ex-boyfriend that
That's not weird at all.
Not weird at all. Not weird at all, right? So I meet him and we go to, I don't know, a marketplace. I don't know what that place is called. Anyway, we're at this place and we're talking or whatever, and then my upline finally shows up, and then my upline leaves early out of the whole thing, So then I'm walking out with, my ex, and he's like, you better leave or I'm going to throw you in this car and we're going somewhere else. And I was like, okay, goodbye. Right? Like, so it was like just all awkward, right? And the one thing, the one thing I got out of that conversation with him was like, this is what he said to me: come back and talk to me when you're making $10,000 or more. And I was like, I'm not ever coming back.
I am blocking you now.
And that's the kind of funny stuff, that I did to build my business.
I put it in front of ex-boyfriends. My husband put it in front of ex-girlfriends, and it's awkward, right?
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish the best for those
of
people,
course.
but they weren't my perfect prospect. Some of the people, I wouldn't have mind doing business with some of my ex-boyfriends. We're still friends, but to a point, not to that point. But with that said, it's like there's people that you want to do business with. They weren't necessarily people I wanted to do business with.
And you were just trying to be coachable and do what your upline told you to do. So like I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it just because
you
I was
told me
told to do it.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone understands now what prospecting is.
Yeah, with spamming and chasing.
Don't call your ex-boyfriend.
So ironically, our industry is called network marketing, but we're not really taught how to network properly, neither how to market. So when I first heard, influence marketing, and actually some of our students who went to college to learn marketing tell us that was never taught in school, how influence marketing works. I think it's because social media just kind of like took off really fast in the last few years, where all the academia didn't even catch up with that movement. Right? It didn't land it in the books yet.
Yeah.
So even those people who have marketing degrees have no idea how to fully utilize influence marketing. So let's talk about what influence marketing is. So I can get started and you guys kind of like pick from there. So the first step is to understand who is already out there, is actively looking for the solutions that you're providing. They're aware they have the problem and they have desire to solve it. And they're already looking for those solutions.
Yeah, problem-aware people are are good.
And to give a specific example of this, it's like we talk about this with prospecting. We're going after anybody and everybody. With your skincare as the example, that seems to be the theme of what we're talking about is skincare, right?
That was what Adrian was in.
There's a big difference.
What about that eyelash serum?
Right. Porcupine eyelash serum. It's going to be amazing. Make your eyes pop, right?
We're gonna make
Like there's a big difference between having a conversation with someone who doesn't wash their face, doesn't care about their skin, and somebody who's actively looking for it, is already spending money.
Like, tell me more.
Tell me more. Like I'm already spending money in this. Like I care about my skin. I care about, those things. I already have like an 8 regimen thing. Like, oh, yours is only 3. You're going to save
And
me
it's
time.
cheaper.
It's going to be cheaper.
Right.
Money, like when you
And
find
It will actually help those fine lines and wrinkles. It will help the dark spots on my face.
Yeah.
It will actually
Yes.
do the things that the problems that I'm
that I care
searching
about.
for,
Yeah.
that I care about.
it's a completely different conversation,
and when
and
you
those
can-
people are coming to you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when you
that's
can provide the value to those people and actually show them through your content that you can help them with whatever it is that they're struggling with, okay, they're going to hold their hand up.
They can come
Because
to
you are
you.
talking
Yeah.
to their problems. You're talking to the things that they're struggling with. Okay, you figured out who they are, where they're hanging out. You've started connecting with those people. You deliver the value to them that they are searching for, that they're desperate for. Okay, they're there. They're holding their hand up. They want it.
So the cool part is if you do it correctly, like what Fred said and we're talking about, those people are going to come to you. They're going to raise their hand and say, can you tell me more? Can you send me the link? I remember I even forgot someone to send the link over the weekend. You didn't send me the link yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think this
so
this is really key too, is that they have to know, like, and trust you. If you think about somebody that tells you, go buy X, Y, and Z, and they're one of your good friends, and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's amazing last year or whatever, it works so great. Like, you're like, give me the link. Like, how do I get it? Right? Like, what's your affiliate? Right? How do I get it? Kind of thing, right? You know, Adrienne had this experience not long ago. She started on this product and it's working great for her. And all of us were kind of feeling like we needed, you know, this.
We all bought it.
Yeah, we all bought it because we know her, we like her, and we trust her, and we know that she's not going to steer us down.
And she knew that we were interested in this particular, area of whatever.
And that same week, Carrie started using a different mascara, and she's like, "You guys, you're never gonna drop the link." We're like, "Where do we get it?" Right? Like, so it's a relationship piece because when somebody that you know, like, and trust says, "Hey, I just watched this movie, and it's amazing," right? Like, they're not getting paid for that; it's free advertising. But you go watch the movie. You're more likely to go watch it if someone told you. So I think that's key in influence marketing is building that know, like, and trust with people.
Yes.
And on social media, you can do that one to many, not one to one, right? Which is the most important.
You can reach
part.
the masses.
Yeah. Like you do one video about who you are, who you help serve, what you do, and thousands of people potentially can see that video and it stays there, right? Like Kat was saying in another video that we did, about the video where you were in the funk, right? And 2 years later, that person's like, holy crap, I watched that video you did. It was all about the funk. And she's like, that changed my life, right? Like
2 years later.
That video stays on there and it continues to do what it's supposed to do and it collapses time. That's how you build a bigger and bigger team with influence.
Right.
For all of us, one thing that we've learned over the years is that if we focus heavy on the marketing, the selling is easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're not selling at that point.
Right.
At that point, you literally are having a conversation and seeing if that person is just a fit.
It's a buying conversation.
A buying
They
conversation.
come to buy and you come to buy. Because if they're ready to enroll, maybe I don't want you in my team.
And guess what? It's network
Marketing.
marketing. You have
need
to learn
grow
how to
the
market.
network, and you need to market to those people, and that's
bottom
The
line.
problem is majority of people using repellent marketing.
Yeah.
they don't know
They are.
they don't know how to grow that network of the people who are actually searching for them.
And I think the number one problem, the reason they don't know is because they're taught to market to everyone.
Yeah.
And if they just built an audience of people that are problem aware, like we talked about a few seconds ago,
Yep.
like it will change your life, right? Like,
It's honing in on that one person, because when you understand who the perfect person is for your skincare, okay, and you understand who they are, what they're struggling with, how they're feeling, and you can create content to them. You grow that network of that one person. There are thousands of them out there, okay, and instead of having this lack mindset that, oh my goodness, if I only speak to that one person, I'm only going to enroll one person. No, there are thousands and thousands of people out there, but that's how, when you create that content, when you market to those people and you create that content that speaks to that one person, it resonates with them.
and it works in any industry.
It doesn't matter what
Financial,
industry.
health and wellness.
Doesn't matter what industry.
Left leisure wear. Like, I mean, we could name them for hours and hours, but it works for
Funny
any.
story. When I was using repellent marketing, and back in the day when I was doing a bunch of home parties, so I had, I don't know, probably hundreds of people come through my house to those home parties. And so there's a couple, they said no. Like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, but it's kind of like, we're doing something else right now. So, and they left. And then when I switched to doing influence marketing and started posting value, like how, and the benefits of this and the benefits of this, and just valuable information for people without asking, plastering my links, that exact same couple commented, actually messaged me and said, Kat, can you tell us more? What are you doing now? Like, it seems like something different and so exciting. I'm like, no, you've been to my home party. I'm still doing the exact same thing.
So I have a funny story. So, but my first network marketing journey was all home parties. And when I met Carrie and I decided to join Carrie, I had this one party. So my team fell apart, but I had this one party that was still booked, and it was booked for 2 months down the line. And I'd already joined Carrie. I'd stopped building that business, and I contacted them. I said, look, she said, I really want you to come and do it. Like, you're funny. And I've got all these people who are coming, please come and do it. And so I had no hidden agenda. I couldn't care what I sold. Okay. I was just going to go there and go and have fun.
Have fun and serve the people
And serve the people. I had my biggest party that night because I didn't care. because I just wanted to serve them. I was just giving them the value that I knew that they were searching for. And it was literally the biggest party I ever did in that company.
Wow.
And it was crazy.
2 months
When you-
after she left.
After I left, and it was like, when you drop that hidden agenda,
Yeah, right.
because
Yes.
everybody comes with a hidden agenda. How can I get the sale? How can I get them to join me?
We call that commission breath.
Yeah.
And it stinks.
Yeah.
People can smell it a mile away.
So, if you're ready to ditch those spammy tactics and you're ready to discover the secrets on how you can attract high quality prospects to you, check out our social recruiting secrets course in the description below this video, and we will see you on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe.
Just thinking that everybody really not making sense of this.
It's like this bass backwards thing.
Ass backwards.
Yeah.